Good evening and welcome. This is Keep Evolving, Season 2, and this is Episode 8. Wow, we are moving. And today on the set, kama kawaida, is Jackie Wegoki. And now, something about this lady before she comes on. She is a life coach. So today we are going to talk about setting goals. And she's going to walk us the journey of setting goals and being a goal-oriented person for the betterment of our lives. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Benjamin.
How have you been?
I'm very well.
Yes.
Yes, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Karibu sana. And today you have challenged us to talk about goal settings.
Yeah.
What are goals?
When I think about goals,
Yes.
I think about the aspirations that people have. For some people, it could be like dreams. And it's the extent to which you pick those dreams and make sure that they are both internally and externally. You're exercising a practice that will enable you to achieve. So there are things that we desire to achieve in our lives.
Aha.
Yeah.
So,
what we desire.
small and big. It does not matter where you take that.
Yeah.
So I want to be someone who wakes up early. So that can be a goal. I want to earn my master's degree in 2 years.
Yes.
Those are goals.
Yeah.
So wherever it takes you. So why is it important for us to set goals?
There are many reasons, and if I can mention a few, is that goals, when you set them, the whole aspect of setting is very key, because when you set your goals, first we need to realize that you set them by writing them down. And I want to emphasize the bit about writing down, because there are many times people say they have their goals in their mind. True, you have them in your mind, but there's something extra that goes when you decide to write your goal down.
Yes.
There's a level of commitment that is enhanced. And in these days we have technology.
Oh, yes.
So even as you write down, which I still emphasize, I think also it's great if you can put even on your phone. And what happens is when you have them like on your phone, you're able to keep referring. You know, even if you're in a matatu, even if you're in some place where you have some extra 5-10 minutes, you can always keep evaluating and keep checking. How are you doing? And so it is important because, one, it gives you a focus point.
Focus.
Yes.
We'll hold on to that word, focus.
Goals will enable you to remain focused in life. Goals are an expression of who we are. So they help to upgrade your self-awareness, because you see, you set your goals based on the desires of your life. It's a way of expressing, this is who I am and these are the things that are meaningful to me. So in an indirect way, you're defining your success by setting out those goals. The individual definition of success. Because my goals may not necessarily be what your goals are.
Very true.
Yeah. And of course, goals will enable us to keep progressing. You see, every time you set a goal, you're saying this is an additional, a plus to my life. So they enable us to keep progressing. And there's no one who does not want to progress. But you're progressing in a focused way.
So the focus and then the personal definition of success. That is what I'm drawing out of that. Let's just take it just a little bit further as we ask, why is it important? At what point in the life of a human being should we begin this focus of goal setting and achieving goals?
This is something that begins all the way in our childhood. And I have seen, because I have interacted with children even in primary schools, where actually I go and speak to them about the importance of goal setting. And I can say here that I have seen 9-year-olds even set SMART goals. That one I have experienced it. You know, where you go to a school and you're telling them, this is what I want to achieve. Not just the academic bit, but even in my life. You will hear young men, preteens of 9 years, saying, I want to be a respectable member of society, based on where they're coming from. And it was very amazing one time when I realized that even 9 years can understand this concept of SMART goals and actually set up. I still remember today when a 9-year-old actually said, I want to teach my mom how to swim by December 20, by December 19 something. And it's amazing to see that even in primary school, people can still be introduced to the whole aspect. And so it should start all the way from the time they start understanding what it means to dream. Maybe it would start by really dreaming, what would you like to see? Then you can go to the aspect of now you can make them smarter as they advance. And where we are now, yes, we look at goals as being the life dreams that we have.
Before we dive into the next nugget, 9 years. But we want to also encourage people.
Yeah.
This is the point of the conversation where we say everybody out of the bedroom. These are table conversations.
Yes.
So we need all of us to put our voice here.
Yeah.
But let's speak to the person who is feeling a bit late.
Yeah.
Now they are plus they are above 9 plus 9.
Yes.
So they are already into their university. Is it too late to start at any point of life?
In my opinion,
Yes.
I do not think it's ever late to start. And I can say that very confidently also, based on, there's a book I have been reading.
Yes.
It's called The Adventures of Life in Phase 2. And Phase 2 is anyone 40 plus, where some of us, we are happy to be.
Where life begins.
Yes, that's where life begins. And in that book, it's a research done over 500 Christian men and women. And in that, you can see people in their 60s, in their 70s, actually begin great projects where they feel it was time to move beyond personal success to significance.
Whoa.
For them, life started creating meaning that I don't need to look at my own successes.
Yes.
For me, success will be when I'm significant because I'm making a difference to the people. I mean, it's a book that it's called The Adventures of Life Beyond Halftime, where halftime is the plus 40.
All right.
So, life in phase 2.
Yes.
And that book is a confirmation from what I read, because these are 500 people interviewed.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I can imagine 500 is a very small number in this world.
Yes.
So how many more people have begun projects in their 60s, in their 70s, and they are thriving in that age?
Yes.
So it doesn't really matter where you are. I think whether you're 30, 40, 50,
Yes.
it's always an open time to set your goals.
Yes.
To find a way to remain focused.
Wow.
And I will continue to say that life gives us a space where we have to learn to define success in our own terms.
Right.
There are many times we define success based on the culture,
Yes.
based on the experiences we've had in life, what we see around us. But it is so great if we can start reflecting and intentionally thinking, what is my definition of success?
Yes.
What's my definition of significance? And then you can be able to come up with goals based on that.
Wow. I am breathless, but I am okay. Let's begin on this journey. Whatever age this person is, how do I begin? So we are going into the how to. I am 9 years old. I am 15. I am 22. I just cleared campus, and I have never really, like life has just been flowing. Or I am 40 and life has just been flowing. But now I am listening to this and I'm saying, I think that is something that can add value to my life, and I can begin, redirecting my life to that significance that we're talking about. How do I begin to become this person who is a goal setter and a goal achiever?
I will start by saying, by the way, it is very important, like we've said previously, come up and have a sitting with yourself.
Yes.
Ask yourself, what would I like to see tomorrow? What would I like to see the next 1 year? What would I like to have seen, to have achieved?
Yes.
The next 5 years, the next 10 years. And I always say, when I think about the 10 years, you even think about your vision, the big vision. And it's almost like becomes a life dream, like ultimate. This is how I would want my life to unfold in 10 years' time. And you can start by writing it down. No more writing. I want to be part of the praise and worship team in the next 5 months. In the next 1 year, you're saying, I want to have begun my master's program. In the next 10 years, maybe I'm saying I want to have a foundation, something like that. But the whole aspect of SMART, let me just take you back there a bit, because we had not actually said, what is this SMART goals? It's where we are told a goal needs to be specific, to be measurable, to be realistic, that it's realistic within the time, to be time bound, and to be, SMART.
It's the A.
Specific.
Yes. Specific.
Measurable. A is achievable. Realistic. And time bound.
Unaandika notes?
Yes.
Haya.
So, and why we say that it needs to be specific. Now, this is where now if you're setting, for example, give your goal a time length.
Yes.
And that is to enable you, when you're evaluating, how much am I achieving, or am I still on track?
Yes.
You're able to tell, I said that I want to start my master's program in the year 2021.
Yes.
Did I actually do it?
Yes.
it's where we are saying it needs to be realistic, because you're saying now, based on the circumstances, am I able to actually realize this dream in the next 1 year?
Right.
Do I have the finances? Do I have the ability in terms of my availability of time?
Yes.
You know, so those are some of the things to work around. So you have set your goals. The next thing is that once you set your goals, I would say keep reading. Keep reviewing. Maybe, in fact, I use reading to emphasize.
Yes.
Read them like they're your book.
Right.
You have to keep reviewing your goals. And this is not something of once every month. No. And that's why I talked about technology.
Yes.
This helps me. Whenever I remember that I have a dream, I can always check on my phone. What were my dreams again? And am I doing something every day, every week? Am I evolving in a way that I am working towards the achievement of that goal?
Wow.
So you have to keep reviewing. The other thing is, as you start, I always find it is so great to have an accountability person. This could be your mentor,
yes,
your friend, somebody who you know will genuinely be taking notes, and you have shared, because and that I underline genuine. They want the best for you. Genuine. They want you to progress, and so they'll also be keen to keep track.
Yes.
Are you progressing? And you can share notes, even if it is, you can say every month we are sharing notes. Jackie, how are you evolving? Benjamin, how are you evolving in relation to your goals? So those are very key things. Write your goals, ensure they are smart.
Yes.
Remember that, keep reviewing. This is not something to do every month. Please, I'll tell you, if you can do it weekly, even daily, the better. But make it a habit. Let it be your lifestyle to keep reviewing and evaluating your goals. And then remember, have an accountability person.
Whoa.
Yes.
Wow, that is the how-to.
Yes.
And I hope you guys are taking notes so that you don't lose it. But the best thing is that this video goes online and stays online, so you can always come back to it. Make it your goal.
Yes.
Let us now begin on this. You know, a lot of times you read a book, motivational, you're charged.
Yes.
But then straight out of the first step, challenges.
Yes.
And you begin, backtracking because you have met challenges. What are some of the challenges that people would begin to encounter when they begin this process? You have sat down with yourself. The goal it's a SMART goal.
Yeah.
You have put it down. You have found someone who is genuine, who can be your accountability partner. What are some of the challenges you know, either in this process of your beginning or now as you begin to walk the journey? Challenges.
You begin by first acknowledging that every journey has the ups and the downs, and of course the seasons for smooth sailing.
Yes.
So because the whole aspect of achieving your goals is a journey, you cannot say, I want to be a musician and you're a musician in one day.
Yes.
There is the practice that will help you to walk towards becoming the expert. In fact, I usually say practice makes you perfect. Practice will walk you towards becoming the expert in the area that you're practicing. So acknowledge it's a journey first, and be aware that along the journey there'll be seasons of everything seems to be smooth sailing, but there'll also be these seasons when there'll be roadblocks, now what you're calling the challenges. So when you acknowledge that, you can, even as you set your goals, start visualizing what could be some of the roadblocks, because there are some that you're actually able to visualize. So
this is before you even start.
Yes, before you even start the journey.
The mind is like, you have stopped and said, I will definitely be finding challenges.
Yes.
And so you're putting them into consideration early enough.
Yeah.
So challenge number one is to challenge yourself to see that the road may be bumpy.
The road may get bumpy.
Right.
And that is why we said also have an accountability partner.
Yes.
These are people you can share with some of the challenges. And I like people sometimes who have accountability persons, especially when they even have a mentor. The mentor becomes an accountability person. And they have this kind of a relationship where they can openly share.
Yes.
And the mentor can share their experience. So have an accountability partner that you can have a discussion. And by the way, something very important, as you choose your accountability partner, we say they should be people who are genuine, who celebrate you. But also they should be people who can challenge you.
Right.
People that are actually adding value to you.
Yes.
So you have to also be intentional. Who are you picking as your accountability partner? And so I was saying that that's one of the ways you can handle that challenge.
Yes.
Have somebody you can talk to.
Yes.
This somebody also can be beyond an accountability person. There are people who are experts in a field.
Yes.
So if I'm getting a challenge in relation to the playing the instrument, for example, perhaps our Martin here would be somebody I can reach out to because he is experienced in that area. And then again, as some of the other challenges would be, I have set these goals and I don't have, for example, the finances.
Yes.
And this is where the issue of realistic came in. And we are saying, allow yourself that you may have foreseen that you'll have enough funds, but they are not there. So when you have an option, think.
Yes.
What more do I need to think to get the funds? And if they are not there, I can be realistic and readjust my goal.
Right.
And say, maybe this will take me slightly longer. As long as I am not losing my focus. There's a term I usually say. Sometimes another challenge is that I fall off the wagon. You know, I've been on track and I find I have fallen off.
Yes.
I am so encouraged that I have seen people fall off and still get back on track and take off and thrive.
Yes.
So similarly, there are times you will fall off. It's a challenge and it is normal to fall off. But please don't stay off the wagon. Get back on the wagon and continue the ride.
Wow. I will stop you there because I know there is much more.
Okay.
So that we can take a short break. This is Keep Evolving. We will be right back. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. This is Keep Evolving and we are talking about goals. And earlier on we already said what goals are, how to set goals, how to begin that journey. And right now we are back with Jackie Wegoki, life coach, to continue this conversation. And we were just before the break talking about the challenges. And she also did how to overcome those challenges. So we shall continue to explore that a bit further. Of course, we've talked about some of the challenges you can experience even before you begin. And then when you get into it, like having to refocus, falling off the wagon. And that is where we were. So tell us a bit more of the challenges and how to get out of these challenges.
Sometimes the other thing is that you may discuss your goals with somebody and they don't think you can achieve it. And maybe this is something to think when you're thinking of group goals. Like you may have a vision that I want to continue with my academics and somebody may think you're not as great as. You know, one time we were talking about the limitations, helplessness that comes. And what I would like to say about that is I always feel that when the Lord gives you a vision, when God commits that which you want to see happen to yourself, unless proved otherwise, remember that you are the one who was given the vision by God. You are the one that God has brought the thought to. So you understand yourself best. You need to realize that people may not see that gifting in you as you propel yourself towards a certain goal. But I believe if you believe in yourself and you have the faith, then you're good to walk the journey. So sometimes it takes you to walk alone if the others don't seem to understand you. That's the reality of life. It's so great to have somebody to walk the journey with you. It's so great to have that accountability person to be accountable to. But there are seasons you may realize that even that one does not make a lot of sense because they're not getting where I want to go. They're not understanding it. Remember, the vision was given to you by God. So hang on to your goals as you propel yourself towards that vision. And maybe just to say that your vision is more of the combination now of the goals. The bigger picture. The bigger picture. Thank you for that.
Wow. It is about resolve and intentionality. Because sometimes you're the only one who can see it, and I like that you brought that out because I want to throw in a spanner. And because you also spoke about you want to continue with school, and everyone around you is going like, hey, the way you've struggled with these others, there is no way. And let's talk a bit about imposter syndrome in goal setting. You have seen these goals, but now it's not the people around you that are seeing your inadequacy, but you are the person feeling like, this may be, you know, like this, did I bite off too much? Or this one needs me to bite off too much, you know, as I go. And speak about it, because imposter syndrome is quite real and in this day and age. And how can we be able to overcome that? And, you know, as a challenge?
And I want to acknowledge that I have faced that,
Yes.
where I set goals, and at some point I'm like, I am not breathing.
Yes.
They seem to be now suffocating me because I am so eager to achieve.
Yeah.
Yet the time and other constraints are coming, the roadblocks. So one of the things I've realized is come back to yourself. And that's why we are saying keep evaluating your goals. And ask yourself the question, was I realistic or did I bite off too much?
Right.
And one thing I would say is, unfortunately, the helplessness comes because you're feeling overwhelmed most of the time.
Yes.
So come back and allow yourself, breathe, and say, I may have to prolong.
Yes.
The reality is, I may have to prolong the time that I had allocated to achieve this goal. So you'll find that if I had said in the next 3 months, you may say, I'm not being realistic.
Yes.
I am also becoming overwhelmed. It's causing me stress. When I'm stressed, I'm not able to perform optimally.
Yes.
So let me stretch it a little bit more.
Yes.
Instead of 3 months, let me give it another 6 months. And that way you're able now to chunk it down and come back and say, this is what I will achieve within the next 3 months. And await the 6 months. So it's a reality check.
I love that because it's speaking to these are ultimately your goals. You are the only one you have to prove to you that they are achievable.
Yes.
And so going back and rethinking, not that you had not done the SMART at the beginning, but you're saying these are my goals. Now, they are overwhelming me and taking the wind out of my sails. And so you're saying it is okay to say, wait a minute, let me refocus my SMART and say I will still be able to achieve this.
Yes.
Wow. And also to tell yourself, the imposter syndrome, to say, to encourage yourself, to be the person to be your number one fan, and encourage yourself and say, actually, I'll still be able to achieve this. As much as I'm feeling very inadequate, as much as I'm feeling like you are saying, I want to be a musician. And here it is, every time I sang, people say the way I am not okay. Or people have been encouraging me, but I've always felt that I don't think I can. My coach, my accountability person is saying, you can. But I'm still coming in with the doubt to continue fanning that fire until I make it. And that is what Jack is today encouraging us on the imposter syndrome.
Let me say that when it comes to career issues, sometimes it may play slightly differently. Especially where your supervisor or your boss is one who is expecting you to achieve this.
Yes.
With, we have the timelines now. And it becomes a little bit difficult. But I have seen even in organizations where you come in and negotiate. Sit back at the table as a group and agree that, yes, this may take us a little bit longer. Maybe we were not as realistic. So there's some room to breathe. But when it becomes too difficult, then please apply the negotiation skills. Negotiate with your supervisor, with your boss. And again, I think when you have given your best, then you feel that fulfillment and contentment. That indeed, even if it took me another 6 months than I had envisioned, I am glad that I have achieved, and I'm glad, and there's a level of fulfillment that I still kept the focus. Thank you for mentioning careers. Because it is in careers especially that a lot of us are feeling, have that, not a lot of us, but a lot of, in the career situation, a lot of times you find the imposter syndrome applying. And then you mentioned negotiation. This is life, and life is negotiated every step of the way. Even if you failed yesterday, it doesn't mean that today you can't come back to the table and say, you know what, we set it a bit too high, so let us renegotiate. And let's now speak about, you mentioned a bit about the groups. Before we go to the groups, and of course seek help. If you need help, don't forget, always seek help.
There we go.
Don't shy off from seeking help. It's not, seeking help is not showing that you're weak. No, I have learned that seeking help actually is the thing to go for. I mean, I did not struggle so much in something that Benjamin, you can help me. Even if you are at the learning stage, or you are feeling like an expert, and then there is a mind block. Seeking help from all sectors. And it's good that we mentioned technology in the beginning, because Google is your friend, but it also has limits. So you seek help in all the places. Sometimes it's a conversation, sometimes it's a gadget, and sometimes it's someone who is an expert. Great. Let's do the group
Setting goals as groups, because these are table conversations. These are families. Of course, mom and dad are here, plus all the children. Naule and Komonyali visit. We are all here. How do we, as a group, set goals? Is it the same process, or are there different dynamics?
When I think about a group, I think about the teams in the office or the family.
Yes.
And maybe let me narrow it now to the family, because these are table conversations for families. It is so ideal as that goals will actually enhance teamwork in a family. And one of the things that we even spoke about earlier on is when you sit down, for example, now goals. Of course, there are individual goals, which we have talked about. But now the family goals, how beautiful if the family can sit together. And the question is thrown like, what would you like to see happen in this family? The next 1 year, the next 2 years, next 3 years.
Yes.
And you'll be surprised that everybody has the ability to contribute, to say what they feel about the family and what they would want to achieve. And you see, it also brings the family awareness. From the discussion, you'll be able to pick, this is who I am as Jackie, as Benjamin, as Martin. And we are able to come together and agree, okay, this is what I want as Jackie, and this is how we can connect and integrate it to the bigger family goals. But again, appreciating that there will be those goals that are specific to the family. For example, maybe these are family thinking, every year we need to have a holiday. Those are things you ask. For example, where would you like to have the holiday? Allow everybody to contribute. And I think it's just a beautiful thing about setting goals. So it's always nice. And I would not specifically say at the beginning of the year, although many people it's a common practice. But sit down together and ask, so what would you like to see happen, and how would you like to see life unfold for us as a family? Remember, those goals are also defining, not only bringing awareness about your family members, but they are also defining the values of the family.
Benefit number one, which I wanted you to throw in just a few more benefits to the family, you know, because maybe there are families who traditionally have not sat together and you know, put their minds together to do
family goals.
Yes, but just onto what you've said, which is very beautiful, add some benefits, and then top it up with some challenges and how we can be able to beat that, remembering this is group goals and family.
Why I love family goals also is that they create a platform for everybody to feel I am appreciated, just like in a team. So you're finding that, oh, my contribution as part of this family is important. And so we are able to give each other a hearing. Then the other thing, so as we continue with the practice, it becomes part of bonding the family. And there's ownership. Remember, we are all saying we set this together. We agreed to have this together. So it creates again ownership amongst the family members.
The I belong part.
I belong. I belong.
Who will not want that?
Who? Look at when we are saying we have these family goals that we decided 3 years to come, we'll have a holiday, maybe even out of this country. And we are all there and celebrating that this was an idea that was bad. It has come to be and we all own. Or every year we have, for example, a common practice is that in December, all families, the larger family together. I mean, how beautiful that we are the ones planning for this together. So you see, it creates really a family bond that is so great. It helps us to say these are the things we value. So again, the beyond success to significance. This is our significance as a family. That we are going to, for example, do a charity project. Maybe it's Christmas kindness, where we take gifts to a certain family over Christmas, and we agreed together. So you can imagine this Christmas day, the whole family, we are walking the journey together, are going to see some families that are maybe in need, and we are gifting something together as a family. You know, there's even a fulfillment that comes in. By the way, it reminds me of that somebody has been saying, even when we buy gadgets, the lifespan of gadgets is so brief that we would rather buy experiences than these gadgets. And so we are told, whenever you buy a gadget, you buy a material possession. You know, could it be that car, that house, that item? Ensure that you're using it to create memorable experiences. So if it is that car, you're using it as a family car to take the children to the park, to take the family to the service. Those are the things that they will live to remember. Buying experiences versus just buying material possessions.
Benefits to the family, because these are table conversations for the family. So we want the family to be biggest beneficiary. Let's wind this conversation up by speaking back to individuals and asking the question, how then, I want to begin this journey, you know, how do I, you know, interact with someone and realize this person is a goal-oriented person. Their life is very goal-focused, and I see their quality of life is very good. I want to identify, like, how can I identify this person and also now begin to model after them. Identifying goal-oriented people, goal setters, goal achievers within the crowd. How does that happen? What are some of the things we can pick from those people that would tell us, like, this is a goal setter? Now their life is modeled around goals and they achieve them. Yeah.
Of course, there's this aspect of spending time with people. When you spend time with them, observe. Observe how they tend to do their tasks.
Right.
Like, are they organized? Are there specifics that you can say they are focused on this? And I want to give an example of this keep evolving. That allow me to use this. You see, it has gone on for quite a while. Whether as we started, whether we are there or not, is another team that continues. So you're seeing that this is a team that we are focused, that you need to have it to keep moving ahead, to keep progressing. And that's the whole idea of evolving. So this would be people that are quite focused. When you observe them and listen to them, you can also hear them saying that I'm not doing so great on this side, but I'm doing so well on this side. I need to maybe evaluate where are the gaps? Why am I not achieving what I wanted to achieve? So these are people who are dream oriented. People who live with dreams. You know, they're like, in the next 10 years, this is where I want to be. So you will hear those kind of conversations. So very key is observe, you know, listen, spend time with people. And also, sometimes when you're just having an informal conversation like this, you'll find that somebody is really adding value. I know there's a special connection that happens sometimes. You can be with someone and you just find a special connection has happened because they've just said something and it's actually really adding value. And so you may want to dig deeper. So you also allow some time to find out more. And it means that you also have to be intentional to create friendships with those that are adding value to you.
There goes that word again.
And when you speak to these people or to these friends who are adding value, you may now come back and ask, so and so added quite some value to me. I mean, there's something they say that I think is so great. I would want to become their friend. I would want to engage further with them. And so you start looking at how do I ensure that I have their contact and I can move this conversation further.
Wow. Mom and dad have been challenging you to find good friends. There goes how to listen, be attentive to the conversations they have or you have. Are they adding value? Are they helping your life? How do they carry themselves? Are they self-aware and self-confident? You know, those things that allow you to see into their lives without even asking them. Mse naonanga una setting ma goals wewe. When yule mse wa kuset ma goals, not like that, but exactly how Jackie has told us. Any parting shots?
The emphasis is it's great to have goals. We always have them in the mind. You know, you start by conceiving in the mind. But it's even greater when you can write down. Even if it means, if you can't write down with your pen, which is what I do, and I would say it's great way of always remembering that I wrote this goal. Have them even on your gadget. Your computer, ikifunguka hivi unaziona hapo. Your phone as a screen, you know, you unaziona. Whether you're wherever you are, when you have those 5 minutes you're waiting on a queue, you can always check, how am I doing? Because there's something extra that comes as you keep checking on those goals. Your mind keeps being reminded, and that helps us to propel ourselves and to really aim for that progression. Thank
you very much. This is Jackie Wegoki. Thank you for coming on set as an expert, not just as anyone else, but as a life coach. And thank you for the words that you've poured out here so that we can listen. When the sails of a ship catch the wind, the ship would go anywhere at all, but it's the pilot or the captain who decides where it is going, and that should be true for our lives. Set your goals, keep looking at them, and achieve them. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Keep Evolving, and in all of hope, we hope that you are evolving in this season. Stay tuned to this channel, of course, like, subscribe, and share this video with as many people as you can, so that as many of us can come out of this second wave of corona evolving still. And see you next time. Kama kawaida, we thank ACK St. Peter's for this platform, and we hope to see you evolving. Bye bye.